Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to Live Inspire Together with John O'Leary. Welcome to Saturday morning. Listen to these words that I heard last Friday. You ready? I love you, baby. No, they weren't directed at me. They were words spoken from my mother to my father. She spoke the words "I love you, baby" as she bent down, connected the seatbelt. She then reached back up, kissed my father's forehead, shut the car door, walked over to me, gave me a hug. She said, "Thank you, John, for doing this." Went back into her house. All this happened as we righted ourselves for a 5:30 a.m. I didn't know they made a 5:30 in the morning, but apparently they do. 5:30 a.m. scheduled surgery for my dad. That morning had already been a long morning for mom and dad. My dad had woken up like my mother very early in the morning. He arose, he slid into his wheelchair, made his way over to the shower. He shaved, he got dressed, he got ready for the surgery, made his way out into the hallway. All of this took place before 5 a.m. How? How did he do all that? You ever think about that? Like, how did my dad do all that? Well, 30 years with Parkinson's disease means that he can do very little of those things that I just mentioned by himself. And yet, with the help of his spouse, his partner, his caregiver, his best friend, his wife, my mom, he was able to arise early with her help. He was able to get into that wheelchair with her help. He was able to make his way into the shower, to clean, to prepare for the surgery with her help. He was able to shave and dress and do the normal functions of the morning with her help. He was able to move from that bedroom through the kitchen into the family room and even eventually into the front hall, where at 5 a.m., when their son John arrived to take him down for surgery, he was ready to go for the day. My mom, it turns out, is a remarkable mother, remarkable wife, and remarkable caregiver. And my friend, she's not alone. She joins more than 54 million Americans, 54 million Americans who serve as caregivers, caregivers to their children, caregivers to their spouse, to caregivers to a loved one or their aging parents, caregiver to someone else in the community who could not do life by themselves, but with the help of another, with the help of someone else's hand, someone else's mind, someone else's heart, someone else's resources, they are able to live as independently as possible. Being a caregiver, it turns out, though, can be a grueling job to embrace. It is frequently thankless. It doesn't pay all that well. It can be emotionally exhausting, physically exhausting. So, what can you and I do on this Saturday morning and going forward to support the caregivers who make such a difference for those that we care for in the community? What can we do? Well, at least we can recognize their work. We can pick up the phone and call and say, "Listen, in a marketplace that is so focused on personal truth, on me living my life, I wanted to call out the fact that I see selfless love, incredible care in action in you." So we can thank those around us in our marketplace for doing the work they do each day. That's a wonderful first step, but that's not the final step. The next best step is, I think, to do something for those who are always doing something else for someone else. We can ask if it's okay. Can we pick up groceries for you this week? Can we drop off a warm meal? Can we swing by and not only say hello to you, but can we sit with your loved one? Maybe can we offer some respite care so that you can get out, so that you can run some errands, so that you can have a little bit of freedom for yourself? My friends, it turns out in life that the little things we do for those who are serving are not little at all. They can be transformational. So today, my challenge to you is to not only recognize the caregivers around us in the community. There are more than 54 million. Mom and dad, you're not the only ones. There's a whole lot of others that are living a difficult life right now, too. You're not alone. We recognize what you are doing. We recognize your selfless love. We recognize your commitment. And what we know about commitment is not only in words. We hear all the time, "I'm committed." We hear it from auto manufacturers. We hear it from politicians. We hear it from phone carriers. "Yes, I'm committed to your success." Okay. It's not just words, though. It's in deeds. It's in action. It is indeed in showing up. So our opportunity today and then going forward is to show that we are committed to those around us in our lives who show up as caregivers each day. My friends, as you know by now, this is part of the Live Inspired community. There are three ways to continue going forward. Number one, look below you. You can learn about this story through the newsletter, the Monday Morning Motivation that John O'Leary writes to inspire the community. You can listen to a podcast that inspired this story. It's by a guy named Richard Louie. That's who we brought on this week. Richard Louie is a phenomenal human being. He is a significant business leader. He has had the chair at both MSNBC and CNN, among other channels. He's a great guy, but he left it all behind to be the caregiver for his dad. It's a great story. You'll want to check it out in the podcast. Learn more at Live Inspired Podcast. And then finally, right over there, there's Coach Matt. He's going to give us a trap and a tip this week. A trap that too frequently we fall into, and a tip to ensure that we rise above and we take the next right step. You can subscribe to this channel. You can take the next necessary steps in your own journey to live out what we're preaching here, or you can support us financially. All three ways are ways that you can make sure that you remain committed to living inspired going forward. So my friends, I want to thank you for being part of our Live Inspired Together family. I want to thank you for taking the next right step, and I want to thank you for believing like I do that the best days remain in front of us. So for this time and until next time, my name is John O'Leary. Yes, it is. I'm the son of Susan and Denny O'Leary, and this is your day. Live inspired.